This is NDDC Today.
Thank you for joining us. Now, you must admit there's been a very busy week for the IMC of the NDDC, that's the Interim Management Committee. Apart from trying to defend their budget for 2019, they've been trying to put together a structure on which the forensic audit ordered by the federal government can truly stand. Because if the forensic audit succeeds, it might be a revolution in how public institutions in Nigeria get towards bringing succor to its people would operate from now on. I am Patrick Oke, and this is NDDC Today.
This week on NDDC Today.
The federal government appoints lead consultants for NDDC forensic audit. Senate considers NDDC's 2019 budget. Who are the members of the IMC? Are they primed to carry out this important task for the NDDC? The new committees on project assessment and contract documentation inaugurated by the IMC are in place. This is NDDC Today. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the appointment of a lead consultant for the forensic audit of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, which President Muhammadu Buhari ordered when the 9 state governors of the oil-producing states visited him in October 2019. The Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, announced this after the last FEC meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Akpabio said the cost of the audit is about 318 million naira, while Messrs. Olumuyiwa, Bashiru and Company has been appointed the lead consultant for the audit. And according to the Bureau of Public Procurement, the exercise is expected to be concluded within 9 months, covering from the inception of the Commission in 2001 to 2019. The minister said we're likely to have a consortium of about 9 other forensic auditors, one of which will be in the head office to handle programs and financial audit, personnel, and all others. The minister observed that the forensic audit became necessary due to the fact that there has not been a commensurate value for money expended in commission from inception, while also assuring that the audit will have an international touch. So the auditors to carry out the forensic audit of the NDDC are finally known. We'll be watching their actions over the next 9 months. Now, while all that is going on, the NDDC still needs to run the NDDC. So the Interim Management Committee has been facing the National Assembly recently to justify the 346 billion naira budget that it operated in 2019. At the head of this was, of course, the acting managing director, Dr. Joy Nunye.
The Senate has formally recognized the Interim Management Committee, IMC, of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, headed by Dr. Joy Nunye, when its committee on the NDDC granted audience to the IMC members and other management staff of the commission to consider the 346 billion naira 2019 budget proposal of the interventionist agency. The Senate Committee Chairman on NDDC, Senator Peter Nwaboshi, informed the NDDC delegation of the Senate's support for the forensic audit of the Commission as ordered by President Muhammadu Buhari, which the IMC is meant to superintend over. He stated that the Senate Committee shall be guided by the policy thrust of the government on budget proposals, implementation and performance through the budget defense.
while we are going to give the approval for your budget, we're also going to be guided by the policy of the federal government.
The Senate Committee on NDDC requested the Commission to furnish it with details of the NDDC's 2018 expenditure before it could pass the 2019 budget, as it explained that it declined passage of the 2019 budget due to some infractions in the Commission's spending in the 2018 budget. The Senate Committee demanded that the Commission submits to it documents relating to all NDDC emergency projects within a week. Failure to do this would lead to a public hearing being set up to look into them by the Senate.
From what we're reading from the news and everywhere, we need to know the emergency projects, because we know our appropriation of the emergency projects last year in the 2018 budget. And if what we're reading is anything to go by, we need to know the volume and the people that have this emergency, project. If we don't get it, because we don't want to disturb this your budget defense, because you don't have it now, we are going to conduct a public hearing.
Senator Matthew Urogide, representing Edo South Senatorial District, noted that the Senate is willing to partner with the NDDC to achieve its mandate and to reposition it to become a more result-oriented interventionist agency of government, despite its concerns about several infractions in the budget implementation of the NDDC.
We are as concerned, those of us who are Niger Delta, we are as concerned as yourselves, and of course, we want to be partners in progress with you. And if that is possible, the new thinking of Mr. President himself.
Addressing the Senate Committee, the NDDC Acting Managing Director, Bene Joy Nunye, said that the Commission recorded as much as 98% performance on its 2018 budget.
Distinguished senators will recall that the 2018 budget was predicated on assumptions of an aggregate revenue of 346 billion, 513 million naira, 46,220 naira. The Commission recorded 98% on its performance for 2018.
Presenting the 2019 budget, a budget which main objective is to realign the NDDC to its core mandate to the development of the Niger Delta region, Acting MD made an appeal to propose a more realistic and achievable revenue projection of the 346.39 billion naira for the Commission instead of the earlier proposed 409 billion naira.
Permit me, distinguished chairman and members of this committee, to make some adjustments in our 2019 revenue projection, which was predicated on the 409 billion naira. This includes federal government contribution of 128 billion naira in line with the NDDC Act 2000, oil and gas contribution of 200 billion, also expected payment of 35 billion arrears of money owed to NDDC by the federal government. Regrettably, the reality on ground based on actual receipt shows that our projection is far from being reached. Hence, a new revenue projection of 346.39 billion is proposed as listed below.
Nunye assured the committee that the list of the emergency project documents requested by the Senate Committee will be made available within a week, even as she promised that the NDDC, under her watch, will be transparent and accountable in all its dealings and activities.
Of emergency projects, we are working on it so we can get you the list, and then we're trying to get all the documents together. We do not have all the documents as it is right now, and so we're trying to put a list together. Hopefully, we'll get back to you next week. I'd just like to appeal, sir, that you give us till next week to get back to you on the required documents.
Well, it's not all yet uhuru, as the IMC still has to cross some T's and dot some I's before the National Assembly would say, well done, go ahead. Now, we've been talking about the IMC. From the start, this has been a very controversial move by the federal government. But as things are playing out, it has been a good move indeed. Who are the people in the IMC? What is their background? Let's take a look.
Meet Dr. Joy Nunye, the acting MD NDDC. Among her people, she is commonly called the Esther of Ogoniland, signifying a woman of deep compassion and nobility, epitomizing her relentless struggle for a better Niger Delta and her people. She is the 6th female Bene of Ogoniland, the daughter of Ogoniland's first lawyer. Soon after her graduation from the Rivers State University of Science and Technology with an LLB degree in law in 1990, she started her early career at the chambers of Ajumogobia Okeke Oyebode Aluko in Lagos. Between 1992 and 1993, she worked briefly with Roads and Roads in Lagos State. In 1993, she became an associate of Cyprus Nunye and Company, Bogbara Chambers, Port Harcourt. A lawyer with over 30 years' experience in active practice. In the course of her practice, she has represented clients in international and regional human rights courts and war crimes tribunals. She has devoted her time to human liberty and social integrity. Her pedigree was evidenced when she stood firmly by the late human rights activist Mr. Ken Saro-Wiwa at the peak of the Ogoni struggle in 1993 in the non-violent protest against Shell Petroleum Development Company. She joined forces to agitate against environmental and public health threats that faced Ogoniland. A specialist in comprehensive conflict resolution, development, prevention, and rehabilitation strategy, she led the implementation of peace and conflict-sensitive projects and activities in Ogoniland. Bene Dr. Joy Nunye has chaired the board of many organizations, including the National Center for Women Development and member River State Economic Advisory Council. Bene Joy Nunye has received numerous honors and awards, which include Outstanding Young Person of the Year in 2000 for her contribution to children, World Peace and Human Rights Award of Excellence by Nigeria Prison Service, Institute of Chartered Mediators Award, UST College JC's Award for Leadership, the National Youth Council Award, the National Union of Ogoni Student Award for Excellence, Methodist Church Nigeria Award for Excellence, and the International Human Rights Law Certificate of Recognition and Appreciation. She holds a PhD in Law and Divinity, honoris causa, from the American Trinity University. Bene Dr. Joy Nunye, the current acting MD of the NDDC. Meet the acting EDFA NDDC, Honorable Ibanga Basi Etang. Honorable Ibanga Basi Etang holds a BSc in Banking and Finance from the University of Cross River State, now University of Uyo, and a Master's in Public Administration MPA from the State University, New Jersey, United States of America. In a career that has spanned over 3 decades, crisscrossing finance, construction, oil and gas, the public sector, he is observed to have continued to distinguish himself as a thoroughbred professional committed to excellence and integrity and inclusiveness. He has worked in various capacities with different organizations, including the Ogun State Ministry of Finance 1991 to 1992, Rosiat Insurance Brokers 1996 to 1998, and Daewoo Nigeria Limited 2001 to 2004. From 1989 to the year 2000, he was elected Deputy President General of Uyu Eta Esit Eket. As a keen actor in the political space, he was called to serve as a member of Esit Eket Local Government Transition Committee from June 2007 to June 2008. This was to lead to a much higher calling in public service when he was appointed as the Special Assistant to the Akwa Ibom State Governor on project monitoring and supervision, a role he played from April 2009 to March 2012. He had the rare privilege to be called upon again to serve in the same position between 2015 to 2018. Honorable Ibanga served the people of Esit Eket as the Executive Chairman from July 2012 to July 2015. Honorable Ibanga has committed countless hours and resources to his own academic, professional, and personal development, with many achievements and records to show. In the last few years, he has attended well over 40 different courses at home and abroad, including an international advanced training program at the prestigious London Corporate Training School, Hammersmith in London, United Kingdom. He is a member of several professional bodies, a recipient of many awards and recognitions for his numerous contributions to the service of God and humanity. Honorable Ibanga Basi Etang is the current Acting Executive Director, Finance and Administration at the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Meet the Executive Director of Projects, NDDC, Dr. Cairo Ojobo. Cairo Ojobo is an astute politician with a solid professional background. Before mounting the political stage, he was already a certified medical doctor. He was a member of the Federal House of Representatives between 2003 and 2007, representing Ika Federal Constituency of Delta State. At the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, he served as the chairman of the Petroleum Resources Committee, as well as the Ad Hoc Committee on Economic and Financial Crimes, EFCC, Recoveries, and also a member of the three other committees: House Committee on Power, House Committee on Ethics and Privileges, and House Committee on Industries. Dr. Ojobo was admitted into the Auchi Polytechnic, now Federal Polytechnic Auchi, between 1978 and 1979, from where he moved to the University of Benin and graduated with a Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Medicine, MBBS in 1985. Between 1985 and 1986, he did his internship at the General Hospital, Makurdi, Benue State, and had his National Youth Service Corps NYC at the Ogbe Stadium Medical Center in Benin City, 1986 to 1987. He is the chairman and founder of Ojobo Foundation, which sponsors small-scale businesses, and over 1,000 indigents of Ika Federal Constituency have benefited from this. Beyond the political arena, Dr. Ojobo had benefited from many high-profile international conferences to broaden his knowledge. For 3 years in a row, 2004, 2005, and 2006, he attended the Offshore Technology Conference, OTC, in Houston, Texas. He also bagged a Distinguished Merit Award as Ambassador of Niger Delta from the Supreme Niger Delta Youth Council Worldwide in 2005, and a Fellow of the Civilian Institute of Democratic Administration from the Civilian Institute of Democratic Administration. The Acting Executive Director of Projects, Dr. Cairo Ojobo.
Now, activities towards the eventual forensic audit are going on frantically in the NDDC. After the verification exercise, which has thrown up so many information about what has been happening so far in terms of contract award, contract execution, and a lot of failures in some of these areas. The two committees now being set up are the Project Assessment Committee and the Contract Documentation Committee. Now, these two committees are to finish the job before the actual forensic audit. They have already started work.
The Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, recently set up and inaugurated 2 new committees for contract documentation and project assessment as a prelude to the upcoming forensic audit ordered by President Muhammadu Buhari and a follow-up to the just concluded contract verification exercise carried out by the Commission. The Contract Documentation Committee, headed by the Director, Planning, Research and Statistics Management Information Systems, Dr. Linus Ogbalubi, and the Project Assessment Committee, headed by Director, Project Monitoring and Supervision, Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Audu Ohaburua, was inaugurated by the Acting Managing Director of the NDDC, Bene Joy Nunye, at the NDDC headquarters in Port Harcourt. These committees are expected to authenticate documents submitted by contractors and consultants and visit the various sites to verify contractors' claims during the verification exercise.
We're setting up 2 committees today. One would be the Contract Documentation Committee that would review all the documents that have been brought from the various states during the verification exercises. We would then write to PENCON, NSITF, ITF, the CAC to verify the documents that have been sent to us. Of course, we also have the Project Assessment Committee, which would now visit various sites, project sites, to verify the claims of the contractors.
The NDDC Acting MD noted that the contract verification exercise, now complete, has enabled the Commission ascertain its actual contingents and liabilities, while also serving as an eye-opener for the Commission. She assured that a comprehensive report of the outcome of the verification exercise will be made available to Nigerians very soon.
We owe Nigerians, especially Mr. President, the full detail of what came out of that exercise. It will be shocking. And so Nigerians will know that we're determined to take the Niger Delta and refocus it and develop it.
Nunye noted that though only few executives of the companies showed up for the verification exercise, not all contractors are fraudulent, and that those who have executed their contracts to NDDC-approved standard will be paid, as she urged the Community Development Committees, CDCs, in the different communities to support the NDDC's Projects Assessment Committees when they visit project sites in their villages and towns for assessment.
And I want to reiterate that not all contractors are fraudulent. There are contractors who've done very well. It's a pity. Everyone is getting really agitated. I never give anyone a contract.
She thanked the Senate for the invitation extended to the Commission to defend its budget, as she promised that money budgeted for the Commission under her watch will be judiciously utilized for the betterment of the oil-producing states. Both heads of the newly inaugurated committees pledged to carry out the tasks entrusted upon them by the Commission with honesty and as diligently as they possibly can.
And I will do our best to make sure that the assignment given to us will be delivered correctly and appropriately.
We shall not let the region down, we shall not let Mr. President down. We will do this as honestly as possible.
Key points raised there by the Acting Managing Director of the NDDC, Dr. Joy Nunye, one of which struck me very hard. The fact that she said that if the IMC had not come in place by now, in a year's time, one may not have been able to recognize the NDDC. I hope all the good will be happening to you and to the IMC as we follow the exercise of the forensic audit to its logical conclusion, which we now know is about 9 months. We'll be here to follow and inform you. Thank you for watching. As always, if you look under the screen, you see all the social media outlets where the conversation we're making now can continue. Don't forget your comments and contributions will be so welcome. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you same time next week.